Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is King of Diamonds, and the Feybreak update is finally here. I got to enjoy the update, and I didn't realize they would update it on the 22nd for me. They updated it on the 23rd for them. They are on the other side of the world, and time flows a bit more quickly over there than it does over here. But the update is here, and we gotta do that little read through as we usually do, and let's just get down to it. Feybreak update notice. Update version 0.4.11 has been released. There's a bunch of new videos. I recommend you take a look at those. I've already taken a look at the Palworld X Terraria. They did add a Terraria weapon into the game, which is pretty cool. So the new content, of course, is what from Terraria. Meow Meow from Terraria. Meow Meow, the first bullet-firing melee weapon in Palworld, has been added. This is only a small taste of the Palworld X Terraria collab, and in 2025, even more collaboration content will be released. Enjoy taking a step towards a new adventure alongside the cat meowing. New island, Feybreak. It is an incredibly huge island, I have to say. I've only managed to explore about a third of it so far. It is really hard to get around there, I can tell you. Yeah, I do not recommend flying. You get shot out of the sky. I'm serious. Like I got you're likely going to die. Don't do that. Don't fly. But that's part of the reason why it's so hard to explore the whole place. The place is huge, honestly. But a new island Feybreak has appeared, a mysterious island with many new challenges, glowing sand, and many new pals. Conquer the Feybreak Warriors, a new faction that dominates the island with the power of their missile battery camp. That's the anti-air emplacements. They're really annoying and very powerful. New resources, chromite and hexalite quartz. Chromite is buried underground and can only be found by using pals or items that can detect metal. Hexalite quartz is a rare ore that only exists on Feybreak, so you really need to get this stuff. The chromite is pretty hard to find. You need to unlock that metal detector. You really are going to need that. The hexalite quartz, of course, they're everywhere. That's a lot easier to find. Of course, you have to fend off a couple pals that will attack you out of nowhere, but these are pretty easy to find. New mechanic expeditions, probably one of the best additions to the game, aside from the big island. The new expeditions allow you to send pals on expeditions. Unfortunately, they do not allow your pals to level up, but it's still nonetheless a very cool addition to the game. You get cool loot, cool new research material, and like maybe blueprints or not. You get some pretty good loot from these games. So if you want to, you gotta level up your pals to make sure that they're really prepared for these battles, these expeditions. Otherwise, they won't be able to do too well. I personally use my Kativas. They're like only level 45 each, but for the early like easy sets, they're pretty powerful. I'm not gonna lie. These guys pack a punch. Like they really pack a punch. The Kativas. I didn't realize how powerful they were. But yeah, just obtain supplies by sending pals on expeditions at the Pal Expedition Station. New mechanic, research. By conducting research at the Pal Labor Research Laboratory, you can unlock permanent passives and rewards that increase the productivity of your base. Also, it's actually better than the expeditions in my opinion. It's so OP. Is a great addition to the game. I'm not gonna lie. It's an incredibly good addition. They didn't really slack off in the new research at all. They have so many new research options, and you'll be taking quite a while to do it. Definitely, you'll have to assign a pal directly to it though, because otherwise it'll be busy doing something else before going to the research research item, whatever. So anyway, some existing buildings that increase work speed will now be unlocked as research rewards. Predator pals. Vicious predator pals will now appear throughout the world. These pals are extremely difficult to defeat but those strong enough to take them down will earn rare resources in return for their bravery. I'm assuming this is probably for the new items. Some of these new items require certain rare resources, and you're really going to need that, so you gotta hunt these predator pals. In any case, the new bounty NPCs. There are new bounties all across the map, and they give you a couple of sheets, bounty sheets or whatever, and you can exchange them for money or something else of value to the local bounty hunter exchange guy. But anyway, dangerous criminals have appeared all over the Palpagos Islands. Bring these crooks to justice and cash in the country for rewards. That's pretty much a mistranslation there, but in any case, the new strongholds and stronghold boss, the attack chopper. That is literally a stronghold boss. A large and very difficult platform oil rig has appeared. Great riches, important supplies, and more are stored here. A powerful attack chopper guards this rig from any intruders. A smaller oil rig, the barge oil rig, has been added for beginners. You must be at least level 20 to be able to get there properly, because all of the enemies are decently leveled, like between 15 and 20. But it is a much easier oil rig to get, and you can get some pretty decent loot for low levels. And now the player level cap has been raised to 60, so now you have to level up all your legendaries, your god-powered Anubis, and your Jet Dragon all the way back to level 60. Because now basically, your pals are too weak. But, you know, there's also some pretty cool new additions that we will be reading in a second. New raid, Xenolord. Defeat the dark mechanical dragon that controls the Xeno army. Well, I haven't been raided thus far by any Xenolord, and my base doesn't seem to really get those raids at all. Spear modules. You can now attach modules to spears to significantly change their trajectories, such as curving it, which in turn increases the capture rate. New items. Metal detector. Find chromate buried underground on Feybreak. Pouches. Increases your inventory size. This will definitely be worth it as soon as I can get the items to get that. Double jump boots. Stylish and practical. Time to double jump. Air dash boots. Allows the player to dash while in the air. Revival potion. Brings your pals back to life. New cooking recipes have been added. Some pretty OP ones I have to add, because those are really, there's some really powerful ones. Hardcore mode has been added. The ultimate challenge. Player and pal death is permanent. So basically it's like Minecraft Hardcore. It can be enabled in the world settings. Random pal mode. Turn on random pal mode in world settings to randomize pal spawns. No longer will you have fire type pals spawning in fire type regions. Instead, you could get ice pals just spawning there randomly and then getting burned alive in the lava. Randomized by region. Randomized pal spawns while maintaining a certain regional range. Completely random. All pal spawns in all regions will be completely randomized. It could be a bit chaotic. New area discovery bonuses. The area discovery bonuses give you pretty huge bonuses. I'll be perfectly honest with you, like insanely huge. But that may or may not be due to your level. I'm not really entirely sure. When the update came, I played on my old server, so it was like 88,000 to 45,000, depending on where you go. But the new area discovery bonuses, players will earn experience points when they discover a location for the first time, or like the third time. So, in any case, many new weapons. Makeshift SMGs, makeshift assault rifles, makeshift shotguns. No longer will the makeshift pistol be alone. Now you can have even more makeshift guns using all those little shoddy bullets that you can make. And then they actually seems like it'll be kind of fun. All this new weaponry is going to be kind of like Borderlands at this rate. If they keep adding new weapon types, this is actually seems kind of fun. old revolver, and you can guess how much damage that one does. Not insane damage, but it's an old revolver that does more damage than pistols. And now you get SMGs, a semi-auto rifle, which does 1100 damage, by the way. It is incredible. That sounds like I really want to use that gun. It's like almost as much as a laser gun, but it's pretty good. That is a powerful rifle, I gotta say. A semi-auto shotgun, laser gatling gun. We're going into Fallout right now with all these oil rigs and stuff. It feels like they're copying things from Fallout. Man, plasma cannons. Okay, they're definitely doing stuff from Fallout. Compound bow, advanced bow, katanas, beam swords, dark grenade, dragon grenade, ground grenade, grass grenade, water grenade. And we got even more new buildings. Large-scale electric egg incubator. Hatch up to 10 eggs at the same time. Guild chest. Items placed in the guild chest are shared among all guild chests. So now, if you're in a guild, you can share your items with basically everyone in your guild. Item retrieval machine. Have you ever lost an item and you can't find it? Well, now your item retrieval machine can get it for you. No longer will you have to search the entirety of your building or base in order to find an item. Now you can just search from the comforts of wherever you place your item retrieval machine. Medicine rack. Tired of having to treat your pals? Well, make your pals treat themselves. Pals will take medicine stored to treat their illnesses and injuries. A flea market. Sell pals and items to other players. Large-scale stone oven and gigantic surf furnace. Multiple pals can work together to cook and refine at higher speeds. Skill fruit orchard. Tired of looking for the skill fruits you need? Well, I am no interested in skill fruits, but you probably will. So now you can plant and grow your own skill fruits. Gold coin assembly line. Illegally produced coins now made at home. You want to break the market? All you have to do is build this gold coin assembly line. Just don't get caught by the police. Ladders. Players can now go up and down a ladder without needing to build stairs. Pure quartz mine. No longer will you have to go to the wintry areas to get pure quartz. Mine an infinite amount in the comfort of your own base. Accumulator. By storing extra electricity, you can keep your facilities running at night while your pals sleep. The accumulator, however, is not very effective. You'll have to build quite a few of those, but that's neither here nor there. Elemental treasure chest. Now this is a very cool addition, I must say. Now rare treasure chests will be found all across the map, and you need a specific elemental pal to open that chest. And it's, well, either rare or okay or just terrible, but it's a really cool chest. I can tell you that. So players can now sit on chairs. No longer will you have to pretend to sit on a chair and just sit on nothing in thin air. No longer will you have to sit on a floor to actually get comfortable. Now you can sit on an actual chair like a civilized human being. You can now obtain successful bounty tokens by defeating field bosses that are basically human beings. You gotta collect those bounties. These tokens provide permanent passives to the player. Player climbing speed has been increased. No longer will you have to spend several minutes climbing a mountain that takes forever to climb. Now you can just climb up like a monkey and stuff. Increase the maximum amount of power that can be enhanced by lift effigies from 12 to 14. Implemented spear critical hits. Throwing a spear at a pal's weak spot, the same weak spot as when attacking a pal, will temporarily increase the capture rate. It does increase the capture rate by 10% for me. It might be different for you, but it's a very cool addition. Honestly, it makes life so much easier if your pal spear might be a little bit too weak. Improved player animations. No longer will your animations look slightly janky. Now they will look less janky. And maybe the frame rate might be hurt, who knows. Players will now be invincible for a few seconds after teleporting or entering / exiting dungeons. No longer will you get spawn killed immediately after you spawn inside a dungeon by those annoying flamethrower guys or some enemy that can one-shot you somehow while you're still trying to load in. Now you can just sit there and not get spawn killed, and maybe bring out a rocket launcher and shoot that spawn killer to death. Destroy him. Don't let him spawn kill you ever again. When mounted, PALs now cancel any active skills that are in effect, allowing it to move immediately. No longer will you deal with the annoyance of a PAL constantly shooting something like a beam that takes a couple of seconds to finish, and you're stuck there getting shot at by another enemy. Yeah, that happened to me a lot. Base related. A function to replace foundation structures and defensive walls without destroying them has been implemented. Walls already built can be upgraded. New foundation structures, Japanese-style buildings have been implemented. You can recreate Sakurajima's Japanese-style architecture at your base. Sliding doors have also been implemented. The maximum base level has been increased to 30. PAL transportation work has been improved while the player is not in the base. No longer will your PALs have trouble. Well, they'll still have trouble. They still have trouble, but they do a lot better than they used to. So there's that. In single player and co-op modes, you can build much more freely around the world, except in some dungeons. The PAL working state set in the monitoring stand is now saved. Christmas skins. There are now 6 new Christmas skins that have been added for all players. Pudding a la Gumas, Party Night Depresso, Winter Style Gillette Ignis. Literally just for 2 gillettes. Royal Frostallion. Now you can pimp out your Frostallion and make it look like a actual royal and just parade it around the world to show how royal that Frostallion is. White Shadowbeak. Redistributing limited time skins to all players. You must own the PAL to equip the skin. Gold Relaxosaurus. Sailor Quiverin. Summer Chillet. I like the Sailor Quiverin. I want that. New unique skills. Vanworm, Flame Breath, Vanworm Crisp, Tempest Blizzard, Astagon, Fire Fist, Breath Storm, Maraith, Spirit Dash, Verdash, Spinning Roundhouse, Univolt, Lightning Gale, Blaze Howl, Volcanic Fang, Ragnarok, Rushbeak, Bead Guard, Needle Spear, Beacon, Lightning Dive, Rayhound, Beacon Lightning, Urmantide, Slither Slam, Urmantide Ignis, Magma Serpent, Cryolinks, Blizzard Claw, Wumpo, Snowballing, Wumpo Baton, Lawn Bowling. New ground skill, Stone Beat. New dark skill, Poison Shower. New dragon skill, Charge Canyon. New tier passive skills. They've added new skills, the Rainbow passive skill, which I have no idea what it does. I haven't been able to check it yet. I'm still breeding a lot of pals. But Swift has been promoted to a Rainbow passive skill, and the chance of obtaining it has decreased. That is sad. Honestly, I like Swift, but you know, all you have to do is breed the animal that you want to have Swift like crazy. That is the... Yikes. Yikes. Work suitability enhancement books. By using various technique books, you can permanently increase PAL's work suitability. The limit on strengthening PALs with souls has been lifted. It's now possible to further develop your PALs. You, of course, need to get these new unlock soul PALs, or PAL souls, I should say. And they're quite expensive, and you'll have to wander around the new place for maybe the new PALs. You'll probably have to go to the dungeon. But I've mostly been converting my PAL souls to those gems, to those new and more powerful souls. they're pretty expensive, but it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. You can raise your attack speed, or not attack, but your attack damage by 60%, basically. That is incredibly OP. That is insanely OP. Like, no joke. That is, that is incredibly OP. If a summon pal has 3 moves, they're all on cooldown, it will use the most basic move of its element. No longer will your pal just be running around twiddling its thumbs, waiting for all its 3 moves to cool down. Now it can finally do a basic attack without having to, well, disappoint you, basically, and make you look down on it as you kill the pal for them. Now, enemy pals will now use every move they know at that level. Alpha pal eggs are no longer all huge, but are now each the appropriate size. Added a filter function to the technology screen. You can now add pals to your favorites with a single button in the pal box UI. No longer will you have to search for your favorite pal that you keep around with you for all your life. Now all you have to do is just search for favorites, and there's your pal. Improved pal box sorting function, making it easier to find the pal you're looking for. You can now change the font size in the options settings. Now, no matter how blind you are, just make that font size big enough, and they will eventually see. Doesn't matter if everything's pitch black, anything can be seen so long as it's big enough. The player's main HUD no longer becomes hidden over time. You can revert this setting in the options. Mouse and keyboard. You can now close any window with a tab key. The right shift and right control key can now be registered in the key configuration. Controller pad. Fixed an issue where the player would continue walking if the UI was open while moving. Change the cutscene skip button on the controller to Y. Crime. The charges have been expanded. Serious crimes such as obstructing public officials will increase the player's criminal level even more. Dedicated servers. You can now set maximum number of buildings per base in the world settings. This allows server administrators to make adjustments to stabilize server performance and maintain a comfortable playing environment. Balance adjustment. The weight multiplier for all items can now be changed in the world settings. Technology unlock levels have been adjusted. The selling price of some pals have been adjusted. The merchant stock and prices have been adjusted. The crafting recipes for some ammunition have been adjusted. Boss enemies are now immune to stuns and will now become staggered when their stun accumulation value reaches 100. And I really don't agree with making them immune to stuns. Like, I remember I said this in my stream, but I like status effect type builds in like MMORPGs. I like using status effect builds, and I do this in Star Wars, and they disable that for a lot of bosses for some reason, and I really hate it. I hate it a lot. It really ruins the fun. Like, why do game developers hate status builds? I don't know why. But anyway. Adjusted the work suitability of some pals. Blasement Rio kindling is now level 4 instead of being level 3. They didn't change that for the Blasement, despite the Blasement supposed to be some kind of flame god. But then again, we already have the Yermintide Ignis, so I guess that makes sense. But now the Blasement Rio finally is effective. Celine, my single most favorite new pal, is handiwork is now level 4. Now you don't have to worry about the fact that the Celine is basically the mascot of your base. Now the Celine can be just as useful as Anubis. Everyone must worship Anubis though, because Anubis is our Lord and Savior. That's the unbelievers. Nocklum. Nocklim's mining is now level 4. Now Nocklim is probably one of the best miners along with logistics work in the game. Cryolinks. Added transporting to the cryolinks. maybe you're a big fan of Krylinks, who knows? But now Krylinks is even more useful in the game. Legendary pals are now level 60 and they can learn more powerful skills. Now you must have a... now, the legendary pals are now level 6. You know how hard it was to level up all the way back to level 55 for me? Just AFK. Mostly I was AFKing, breeding pals, but still, it was hard. It was really annoying. Like, they're all level 60 and you have to spend so much time now capturing all these pals that are now level 60. Yikes. In any case, where was I? Where was I freezing? The recovery amount of Felbat and Lavender's partner skills have increased from 6% to 10%. Bug fixes. Improved base pals so they don't get stuck as often. No longer will your Mantai get stuck randomly inside a wall and never be able to get away from there again. Now, well, it will probably still get stuck, but at least less. Reduce the issue of players falling under the ground at their fast travel. That took them a really long time to be able to fix that, but actually they didn't. They reduced it, but still. Improved enemy pathing so they don't get stuck in walls as often. Now they will have an easier time of hunting you wherever you're hiding inside your base. They can easily navigate around a wall and then just shoot you to death. Improve the raid algorithm and pathing to ensure that raids reach bases much more often. Many other minor bug fixes. Other new NPCs have been added to various locations. Added the Free Pal Alliance Judicator to the Free Pal Alliance. He will now appear at their camps. Slow down the work speed animation of base pals with work speed buffs. This is a measure to prevent the processing load from increasing too much when the effect is played at high speed. This change does not affect actual work speed. Soundtrack. Added 3 new songs to the soundtrack. If you have already purchased the game, please update the soundtrack. Please note that the soundtrack update may be delayed by about a day. Thank you for your continued support of Palworld. I do like this fix for the processing. It increases it by about 10 FPS unless you're playing on multiplayer. But yeah, this does fix quite a few things. Of course, they do have a couple other problems that they gotta work on for Feybreak, because it, as per usual, did mess with your frame rates a little bit, but about anywhere else like Sakurajima, the frame rate is wonderful. Unless you're playing multiplayer, but still, it is an amazing update. Honestly, I have to say this: the update is has made me so giddy. Everywhere I was going, discovering new things, I felt like I was a kid in the candy store. That's how great this new update is. I loved it so much. Not a big fan of the anti-air, but we got some really cool new pals and new variants as well. This is honestly, it's worth it. If you don't have Palworld, I very much recommend it, especially for this new update. Of course, if you're not a big fan of the bugs, maybe wait a bit, who knows, but it is a great update, I'm not gonna lie. So, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I hope you enjoyed the new read-through, and I hope you enjoy the game, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and good day.